Now, in the last episode, we talked about how Olamide leveraged my school community to help him get into degree apprenticeships at HSBC and Deutsche Bank. Today, we're going to dive into the next part of our conversation, where we'll go into exactly how much hard work you need to do and whether it's even worth it to put all this effort into a degree apprenticeship. See you on the other side. I want to go back to what you said earlier. So, did you say you only found out about degree apprenticeships in sort of September of year 13?
Yes, that's the case. So ultimately, I've always been geared towards working in investment banking in the first place. So in year 12, I did a lot of not applications, a lot of work experience towards that, thinking that when I get to university, it's going to be useful for my CV. But then ultimately, I applied to uni early to get out the way so I could focus on my A-levels, making sure I get the grades to get into those, they call it target universities, where investment banks go to to schools, not to schools, to universities, to give them spring weeks, and then that spring week can turn into a summer internship, which turns into a grad program. That was my initial goal. So when I finally applied to university, I was still doing a bit of research about more work experience events that I could do, and ultimately I came across the Deutsche Bank website for the first, actually. Though it wasn't the first one I applied to, it was the first degree apprenticeship sort of thing that I saw. And I read it, I had to read it like 10 times because I couldn't believe what they were giving you. Like, they're giving you a 3-degree salary and work experience and basically a full-time role at the end of it. And I had to read it so many. I said, is this for my age group? Is this correct? I wasn't sure. And then I looked at it, I said, okay, I'll apply. But I was behaving like most people. I think if something is so valuable, I'm still not going to put much effort into it. But I will say on October 26th, that's when I said I'm going to dedicate myself to getting a degree apprenticeship. I'm going to put in as much effort as I can in order to achieve this goal, because ultimately it fast tracks my goal of getting into investment banking by 3-4 years, or even 5 years for most people. So if I'm able to fast track to the goal that I want to, why not put the effort in now? So that day, October 26th, I have a book where I document my journey. And I think even though I think I was quite early for degree apprenticeship, luckily, because degree apprenticeship still wasn't quite known. But this year, if you found about degree apprenticeships around now, I'll say it's a bit late. But during my time, I think I was just lucky to come across that website, I would say. And it's a good thing that I did. And I ended up getting a degree apprenticeship in the end of it. But again, once you've found out, yes, this is what I want to do, you have to sit yourself down and say, are you really going to put 110% effort into this? If not, there's no point going through. You might as well go to university, do a UCAS application, and then get into uni, because ultimately that process is much easier than doing like a 6-stage process when you're 17, 18 with A-levels on the side, BTECs on the side. It's a harder route, but ultimately once you've achieved it, you've got your foot in the door. So that day I sat myself down, I said, yes, I'm going to put my effort into it. If I stay up late, if I'm up early, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure I put 110% effort into it. That's what you have to do. You really have to talk to yourself. Is this something I want to do? Because if I read that page 10 times, there's only 100 other people, 10,000 other people that have read that page 10 times, wanting to get the same program as me. So ultimately, what makes you stand out? You have to put in effort to be the standout candidate.
October 26th, 2023, Olamide 2.0, essentially. Yeah, I do the thing sometimes. I just like take like a third person perspective. I just zoom out for a second. I look at degree apprenticeships as a thing, and I'm just like, it's actually ridiculous. Like, I don't even know how it's a thing. I don't know where the money's coming from. I don't know who's making money on this. But the fact that we're getting the experience and the free degree, you're fast tracking your career, it's actually mental. And I thought that was powerful there about what you said in terms of it takes the effort, so you've got to commit to it. And I think this is what I sort of think is like, if you kind of want a degree apprenticeship but you don't want to work for it, probably just don't bother, honestly, because it's like if you're going to half send it, you're going to go 50%. Okay, I'll write a CV, I'll turn up to a couple of interviews, I'll go through a whole bunch of like online assessments, and you're going to 50%. Honestly, just don't bother, because if you don't put the work in, you're not going to get the role, because there's 100 other people who are putting way more work in, right? So then you've basically just wasted half your time that you could have been focused on A levels, you could have been enjoying it, like whatever. It's sort of, I think, either just don't bother, or absolutely 100% full send it. Be like, I'm going to commit to this. It's going to be for the next, I don't know, 9 months or something. Next 12 months, it's going to be a whole load of work that I have to do, but it's going to pay off because it's now a completely different life path. It's like university takes this long, you have to pay this much tuition, etc. There's this much chance of getting a graduate job, which can be a sort of a bit dodgy. Or there's this one where you fast track your career, you're in the door, as you said, in the finance industry, and then you're going from there with a salary and no debt. So I thought that was powerful. That essentially full send it if you're going for a degree apprenticeship, essentially.
Yeah. And I like the aspect that when you're 18, you're already like 4 or 5 years ahead of your peers. So I'm ultimately doing work similar to like a graduate that would have just got out of university. And I think that if you've worked hard enough to get into that situation, that means you are good enough to do so sort of things. And there's no point wasting more time around that. So put the effort in, get to where you want to be. And then when my course is 4 years, and then in 4 years, I'm going to be 22 years old, I'm still going to be young, and I'm still going to have a lot of opportunities to go out for, which I think is very valuable, because time is a valuable thing. I think time is more important than money in a sort of sense. Time is money, as people say. So cut your time short, put in the effort now, so then you can save your time in the future. You could use your salary to invest in sort of things, invest in your passion, etc. Those sort of things. That's really helpful.
Yeah, I think what you said there about graduates in particular, it's been the same experience for me in the engineering industry. So with civil engineering, which is what I'm doing, I come in as a degree apprentice, graduates come in, we're doing the exact same things. Turns out nothing from their degree is relevant to the actual job, and it's going to depend on the job. But that's the sort of thing that can happen. And yeah, it's why you got to think about it, because essentially as well, in life, there's like two currencies. There's money. So in terms of money, going to degree apprenticeship, you're going to save the money, not get the debt, you're going to get the salary. But the second currency that we all have is time. And it's like, if you can fast track your life, your career, whatever, by 2-3 years, how much is that worth? Like your time there, how much would you value literally saving a whole year of your life? Like you'd probably say thousands, right? And that's what you're going to be saving potentially by going down this degree apprenticeship sort of route. So there's that double benefit there. If that's inspired you to go all in on your degree apprenticeship applications, then I've got one more video for you. In the next episode, Olamide is going to be giving his final message, the ultimate advice you need to land your dream degree apprenticeship. Click here to go straight there. Bye for now, and I'll see you in 2 seconds.